What's cracking, y'all? You are now watching Boo TV. Appreciate you for stopping in. Like, comment, subscribe, hit the bell, stay notified, and let's get into the topic for today. What's good, y'all? Back with some more Michael Jeffrey Jordan content. Michael Jordan stats you have to see to believe. And I tell you what, seeing is believing sometimes. Now, I've reacted to a couple videos here on this channel about Michael Jordan stats, and some off the record, and I'm pretty aware of the notable ones, you know, how many points in a finals game and a half, this, that, and the third. The thing about stats is, and I'm not a big stats guy, but there are so many values and numbers and statistics in basketball, especially in the era of advanced analytics. So whatever story you're trying to tell, whatever stat you're trying to provide, you can skew the criteria in your favor to create the story and narrative that you want. That's why I need the stat, I need the eye test, I need the context to bring it all together to come to my conclusion. Right? It's 48 minutes in the game. What story are you trying to tell? Are you trying to, provide numbers for what a player did for 36 minutes in a game under these situations? It's almost like a filter. You got all these columns and rows, and then filter each one to give the exact story you want to tell and portray a player in a certain type of light. And the only fan base that really does this to try to push an agenda on people, the only fan base that you really see heavily try to shove stats down your mouth are the LeBron James fans, the Bronsexuals, the Bron Goblins, the Bron Gobs, the LeColt. You don't really see too many other fan bases doing that. They do it, but not to the level of these guys. They're obnoxious. And of course, LeBron James is a stats guy. He is all about his numbers. It's the only thing he's gunning for right now. And he has the longevity numbers. Like, we get all that. But they can't have an argument that shows their true basketball knowledge without just Googling stuff and throwing numbers in your face. You can tell these guys really don't watch that much basketball, or at least past eras at least. Whatever. But I can tell you what, I've watched Michael Jordan play, and I've seen many of the popular statistics, and I can tell you, the eye test backs up everything. Mike was that guy. Incredible basketball player. And I wish he would have played longer, but, you know, it doesn't always work out that way for everybody. But anywho, let's get into it.
Want to know a crazy Michael Jordan stat? In Chicago Bulls franchise history, there have been 907.
This is from a YouTube channel called Post 2K. Go check them out.
30-point games by players not named Michael Jordan. MJ alone has 537, over half as much as the entire franchise. It's kind of insane, but it's just the tip of the iceberg. Over the 58-year history of the Bulls, there's been a total of 89 non-Jordan 40-point games. And MJ nearly doubles that with 165. And when it comes to 50-point games without MJ, the franchise has had just 7. Michael Jordan has 30. MJ wasn't just a Chicago Bull. He is the Chicago Bulls. And I feel the need to remind you that the man played less than 20% of all games in the franchise's history. Yet he's won them every championship they've ever had. He brought them culture, value, and prestige while absolutely annihilating their record book with many stats that you have to see to believe.
17 seconds from Game 7 or from championship number 6. Jordan open. Chicago with the lead.
One thing that separates Jordan from the all-time greats is his ability to go to another level when the stakes are at the highest. I mean, when a dude can average 30 a game during the regular season and significantly increase his scoring average during the playoffs, you know the guy is different. In fact, here are the top 5 players with the most 50-point games during the regular season in NBA history. Wilt is in his own league, but Jordan sits in second, followed by Kobe, Harden, and Baylor. Now, if we check who has the most 50-point games in NBA playoff history, MJ and Wilt are the only 2 that remain. This time, Jordan takes the top spot. When it comes to scoring at the most important time of the year, MJ goes into another dimension. However, this isn't the stat that you have to see to believe. we gotta go a little deeper. Because what makes Jordan's 8 50-point playoff games so baffling is the fact that in his entire playoff career, he's had just 6 games with less than 20 points. The dude is more likely to drop 50 than he is to score less than 20 during the postseason.
That's crazy.
It doesn't even seem possible. During the playoffs, the games are much slower. There's less possessions, more fouls, defenses tighten up, and the intensity and pressure is at the highest, making scoring much harder to come by. Despite this, the odds that Jordan drops 50 are higher than the odds that he scores less than 20. It's a ridiculous stat. Regular season Michael Jordan is on another planet, but playoff Michael Jordan is in a whole other galaxy. He might just be the GOAT.
Jordan, free moves on Russell. We're down to 2, now to 1. Here's Jordan.
In my opinion, the best way to compare players from different eras is to measure their accomplishments. So their total number of MVPs, Rookie of the Years, Sixth Man of the Years, Championships, All-Star Game MVPs, Finals MVPs, and Defensive Player of the Year awards. Basically, the most prestigious trophies a player can earn throughout his career. And if we were to tally the total for some of the game's greatest players, it would look like this. Hitting double digits is an accomplishment in itself. Magic filled up his trophy case in a short 13-year career. LeBron sits at third with 16 total trophies. Bill Russell edges him out by 1 thanks to his 11 rings. And of course, the top spot belongs to MJ. Jordan is ahead by a sizable gap. And when you take into account that he accomplished all of this in just 15 seasons, you understand why people call him the GOAT. Now, this is just part 1 of this stat. Part 2 showcases how Jordan stacked up so many trophies so quickly. In NBA history, there have been 14 occurrences where a player won the MVP, the championship, and the Finals MVP in the same season. Of those 14, Michael Jordan pulled it off 4 times, as many times as second and third combined. Pretty insane, but let's take it a step further. This is every player who's won the MVP, the scoring title, the championship, and the Finals MVP in the same season. Kareem did it in 1971, Shaq in 2000, and Jordan in 91, 92, 96, 98. Twice as many times as every other player in the history of the NBA. MJ's sustained dominance during the regular season and the playoffs is incomparable to any other all-time great, and so was his trophy case. This guy might be the GOAT.
He gives to Jordan. Jordan to the circle, puts the shot in the air. Good! The game's over, and the Bulls have won. Jordan beat him at the buzzer with a jump shot in the circle, and Chicago.
If we went through every single insane Michael Jordan stat, this video could be up to an hour long. So we're going to use this rapid fire segment to rail off a handful of Jordan stats that you have to see to believe. In 1990, MJ and the Bulls started out the season on a 3-game losing streak, and from that day forward, Michael Jordan never lost 3 games in a row for the rest of his career in Chicago, of 626 games without losing 3 straight. For context, the second longest streak is by Steph Curry, at 314 games. It's insane. In 1988, Mike became the first player in NBA history to win the Defensive Player of the Year award and average over 30 points per game in the same season. He averaged 35. At the end of the 88-89 season, Sam Vincent, the Bulls' point guard, was struggling to get the offense going. So Chicago's coaching staff decided to experiment with Michael Jordan at point guard for the remaining 24 games. And Jordan averaged 30 points, 9 rebounds, and 10 assists during that stretch, also notching 12 triple-doubles. When given the chance, Jordan can do everything. In the 1991
That's what I keep telling people, these LeBron people, about the points, rebounds, assists. I was like, LeBron is the system. He is the system. Everything goes through him. He monopolizes the ball. You don't think if Jordan held the ball that long, outside the triangle offense, he would do the same thing or average close to a triple-double? Come on, man. Cut it out. Not everybody was obsessed with statistics, man.
Finals, MJ became the third player in league history to average over 11 assists per game in an NBA Finals. It was an all-time great playmaking display. 2 years later, he averages 41 points per game in the 1993 Finals, the highest points average in a Finals series ever. Given the chance, he can do everything. In his entire playoff career, Jordan has been outscored in only one playoff series, and it happened as a rookie in his first postseason appearance. Milwaukee's Terry Cummings scored 118 points. MJ scored 117. He only got outscored once, and it was by 1 point. I can go on for hours. Jordan has stats on stats on stats, and those are some of his best. It honestly makes me believe he's the good.
People were afraid of him. We were his teammates and we were afraid of him.
That wasn't Michael Jordan out there. It was God disguised as Michael Jordan.
The dude looked like Jesus Christ.
And I looked at him, and for the first time in my life, a human being didn't look real to me. Like, I literally seen his aura.
Just before when I threw it to you. I didn't do it to you. Ignore this guy. He's got the truth. He's gonna complain.
The fear factor of MJ was so thick.
We all know Michael Jordan is the NBA's best playoff performer. It's not much of a debate, and over the course of the video, we've seen that the numbers prove it. But if there's any doubt out there, I saved this stat for last, because when I first saw it, I didn't even think it was real. This is my ace in the hole. There have been numerous high-scoring playoff series over the course of NBA history. Wilt Chamberlain put up over 38 a game in round 1 of the 1960 playoffs. Jimmy Butler was electric in round 1 against the Bucks just over a year ago. LeBron went nuclear. He averaged 38.5 points in the 2009 Eastern Conference Finals. And Shaq was doing Shaq things in the 2000 Finals. There are countless Tier 1 playoff performances, but none of them can match up with these. Those are the highest scoring playoff series in NBA history. Elgin Baylor and Rick Barry averaged over 40 in the 1962 and 1967 finals. Bernard King went crazy, and Jerry West has the highest scoring average in any playoff series ever at 46.3 points per game. But that's just 4 of the top 10. Here's the rest. Or should I say, here's MJ. Michael Jordan has 6 of the 10 highest scoring playoff series in NBA history. All of them coming in at over 50% from the field. A stat so absurd that you have to see to believe. I hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, consider subscribing. I'm making videos every week and I'd really appreciate the support. Oh, and I've been meaning to say this throughout the video. I really think Jordan's the good.
The editing in that video was masterful, ladies and gentlemen. Absolutely masterful. Excellent editing, excellent storytelling, excellent job laying the stats out that he wanted to show us and explaining it thoroughly, easy for us to understand, and also comparing it to others so that you can really understand how magnificent and how grand Jordan's accomplishments were. That is unique unto any other stats video I ever watched. I've never seen those explained to me, at least some of those also portrayed in that kind of way. Mike's, in my opinion, greatest of all time. He's the GOAT. To me. And you can sit here and talk to me about longevity, and I get it. Kudos. But when the guy that has played 6 more seasons, and if you want to say 8 more seasons, if you don't want to include the Wizards years, but he's played significantly more seasons and still trailing this man, still chasing this man, should tell you everything you need to know. Michael Jordan was that dude. Michael Jordan still is that dude. And he did all of this without giving a damn about an agenda. He did all of this without caring about stats. He did all of this not trying to prove to everybody that he's the GOAT. He just played the game of basketball that he loved. Nowadays, it ain't like that. People are playing for the stats. People are playing for the money. People are playing for the stats for legacy. People are playing for the stats for the money. That wasn't Michael Jordan. That wasn't a lot of players back then. Especially wasn't Mike, but he was the best of the best. He was one of one in my opinion. And I'm a Kobe guy. But Mike was that dude. That's all I got to say about it, man. Check out our Michael Jordan playlist. I appreciate each and every one of you guys for stepping in. And I'll catch you on the next one. We out, baby.